Welcome back to the Final Fantasy Tactics All Archers Challenge. We are heading to Lenalia Plateau. This is not a hugely exciting or too notable battle normally. It's just a kind of time filler on your way over. The longbows have entered our lives, however, which is very, very, very important. So let's talk longbows while we are on our way over here. So longbows have obviously a little longer range than the bow gun. They have a range between 3 and 5 plus the height difference over 2, which of course can also be negative. So height difference over 2, which can also be negative on that. So for every 2 units of height that you go up, you can go to 1 more space, or same thing for going down. So every 2 units you are below, you can do 1 less space. Longbows also, so here we're trying to defeat Miluta again. We're just going to charge up here to try to get her down as much as we can before the mages start causing too many problems. Conversation with Miluta. Concentrate is still going to be making sure that we land every attack on her, charging to make sure that we can do the maximum damage per action, etc. for Miluta. And there is, that's Delita. Delita does not have Concentrate, so she was able to guard that attack because those guys just don't earn enough JP to earn those bigger abilities in any job that they have. So he's going to be missing. That's why I just left him with the bow gun and a shield. But longbows, their damage is this formula. It is the PA, which is the displayed attack power on the menu, plus the speed over 2 times the weapon power. So basically, it is the average of your speed and your attack power. So if your speed and attack power are the same, like if they're both 6, that's fine. It'll just be 6 times the weapon power. Longbow's weapon power is 4. So if your attack power is 6, speed is 6, your base damage will be 24 on a longbow, which then of course gets changed by the Zodiac check. But if you can increase your speed or increase your attack, then of course you can bump those up. So for, if you can knock your speed up to 8 and your attack is 6, then your average will be 7 times that 4. So you can get an extra multiplier by boosting either of those. So that's something to watch out for with our longbow situation. But longbows can also arc over either other units or obstacles, as long as they can, as long as the angle isn't too steep. Sometimes if the angle is too steep, you can't arc over. But so now we can really play with position in going for high ground whenever we can, whenever we're able to. We're trying to go for some higher territory, higher ground, to extend our range a little bit. Miluta jumped back there, so we have to go after these wizards and time mages a little bit on our way up, so that we can focus the attacks on her. I'm counting spaces here because, again, you need to be at least 3 away, and it's a lot harder to do the old bow gun target a space behind them trick because they can arc it over an enemy. So they will often arc it over them. Although if you are sitting directly next to an enemy and you target a line of sight difference that's got a height difference than you, it will usually try to do a direct shot, which will pop them in the head. So sometimes you can do the aim behind them trick, sometimes you cannot. So we have a charging time mage right there. I don't have great compatibility with her, so whenever it's the same sex attacking same sex, then you can lose a little bit of that. Which also is notable if you're just grinding your characters. You can make sure to have the least damage dealt to yourself when you're just plinking each other. So here's hoping Miluta comes up a little bit. She didn't come up very much. She really is leaving the dirty work to her hench people there. Delita eats a thrown stone right there, which is lots of fun. Now, but we are in range of Miluta though, so we can start throwing some offense her way, which is good. And Concentrate, of course, means she cannot block us with that shield of hers. And I still haven't learned a lot of the charge abilities because I was focusing on getting Concentrate, which is an expensive expensive ability. Speed save is also something I'm saving up for, where they're going to be gaining a point of speed every time, or they can proc a speed increase every time they take damage, which is hugely important and a very good ability. Obviously, it's not one you would use a whole lot in a casual game, but it's very useful for us here. So Delita taking kind of a worthless pot shot and retreating. Retreata. Delita is Retreata today. I wish he would come up there to soak up another hit from one of those knights, but unfortunately we cannot control him, and he's just going to do what he's going to do. Algus has left the party, by the way. He was upset that we didn't kill Maluda outright at the last conversation. So we skipped some story sequences. If you want to know the story of this game, you will have to look elsewhere. I won't include a whole bunch of that stuff because it just takes a lot of time that not everybody has. But if you're interested in seeing how a challenge run of this works, you will see all of the story battles and the side quest battles as well, executed with archers as best I can. So now it's all about just getting into range to hit Maluda. I've got to get the right angle and the right distance from her so we can do the most damage to her that we possibly can. And you'll see, again, I'm counting tiles. When they move them that quickly, usually that's me counting tiles, going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. So 5 being your normal maximum, but if I could get 2 height above her, then I could get to 6. So sometimes that becomes part of your calculus is, okay, I can't hit them from here, but if I bop up to a higher elevation, I can add an extra unit, and sometimes that's more advantageous, especially if you can be farther away and better defended. See all the C's? This battlefield is full of C's. We got a wizard charging, and we have all of our archers are throwing charge attacks at Maluda. So we're hoping that these charge attacks will get her down to finish up the battle before we have too many more shenanigans from these wizards. Here comes a area of effect bolt. I see not so good on that one. There is speed save, so we used his ability on there, and she also had speed save. So that's why we don't have all the charge units yet, because we've been saving up for speed save. And there is Ramza taking out Maluda, and there is that battle. So longbows becoming MVP in this fight, and they will be pretty much my go-to for the rest of this game, although bowguns are not totally counted out yet. Do stay tuned for the rest of this series if you're enjoying it. I hope you're liking it as much as I am, and we will see you next time.